I want to talk about the difference between a home inspection and an appraisal. They are two different things. They are two different types of inspections, but a lot of people think they're the same thing, that they're having an inspection done on the property and that is their home inspection, or the appraisal is their home inspection, and they're not. So the home inspection is something that you, the buyer, hire somebody to come do. You are usually doing it once you get into contract, like right away, to basically do a really thorough, deep investigation as to the condition of the home that you're looking to purchase. That appraiser is going to go in the crawl space. They usually go in the attic. They get up on the roof. They're looking at maybe how much life you have left in that roof. They're looking for water damage. They're looking for wood rot. They're taking pictures of everything. And then at the end, they give you a very, very detailed report of the condition of that home. It's really like the good, the bad, and the ugly of your house. And it can sometimes be a very big deal breaker for you, because once you see all these things that are wrong with the home, you don't want to purchase it anymore. But remember that is a tool for you to use as a negotiation, to go back to the seller and say, hey, this is the condition of the home. I didn't realize these things were wrong with it when I said I wanted to purchase it for this purchase price, and I feel these things need to get fixed in order for me to move forward. And so you kind of give them these lists, and usually you really want to focus on the things that are important to you in order for you to move forward. So these are deal breaker items for you, and not small, little, tiny things. Big items, usually the big ones you want to look at, like the health and safety issues that are going on with the house, because that may affect you being able to get financing, or just in general, it's going to be a big ticket item for you in the near future, to where you don't really have that expense, or you don't want to take on that expense at the price of this house. But the good thing is it's a negotiation. So you go back to the seller and you say, here's the things that I would like to have addressed, or I'd like to have fixed in order for me to purchase the home at this price. Or another option is, they could give you money in difference of those items being fixed. So, say the house needs a new roof, but it doesn't need a new roof like right now. Maybe it needs a new roof the next year or two. And so financing will probably be okay with it, but you're not okay with it. So the seller could essentially give you funds to help cover the cost of that roof in the future, but the seller can't directly hand you over money. It can't be something that they directly send over. So it has to be in a form of a credit to go towards closing costs, or prepaids, which would be like taxes and insurance, or it can go towards buying down your interest rate, but it cannot go towards down payments, and it cannot directly go back in your hand. And that's a big thing that people miss when they're negotiating these repairs, is that they're getting money in their hand in lieu of these repairs getting done, but it doesn't necessarily work that way. It has to be negotiated that it goes towards closing costs, or prepaids, or buy downs, something that's acceptable for the lender to take. It cannot go directly in your hand. So some people will pay a contractor out of closing for the work that's being done, and a lot of times the work will just get done prior to closing, and the seller is paying a contractor directly. It's not directly going to you. So with that home inspection, you get to use that report in your benefit to kind of negotiate what you need done in the home. But more importantly, it's a huge financial decision. So understanding the condition of your home is really important before you commit to buying the house. Now, an appraisal is for the lender. I mean, it is for you in a way too, but you are paying for it. But the appraisal, their job is not to find necessarily every tiny little thing that's wrong with that home. They're not doing a very invasive search. They're not always getting up on the roof. They're not always going to go into the attic. They're not always going to go into the crawl space. Some loan programs do require it. Some don't. But they're definitely not going to take their moisture meters out and look for moisture around the toilets, or get their gas meters out and to see if there's a gas leak. But they certainly are going to take pictures of things and use visual observation as to what's going on with the home. They're also going to be looking at other homes in the area that are for sale, other homes in the area that have already sold within the last 6 to 12 months, maybe even sooner, to determine, is your home actually worth what you're purchasing it for? Because that's a big piece. If you're buying a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a specific area, they want to make sure that other homes that are very similar square footage, that have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, that look a lot like yours, are also selling for the same amount, and that are in similar condition to yours. And so that you're not buying a home that is overpriced or underpriced. You have an idea of what this home is worth. So that appraisal is there to determine value for the lender, so that they make sure that they're financing this home and it actually is worth that much. And then also they're looking at condition of the home, but they're looking for health and safety issues mostly. Now, every loan program is different. So every loan program is going to have some different requirements of what they consider to be a health and safety issue. And so you'll find that some loan programs will call out other things, like more things than maybe another would. But for the most part, that's what that appraiser's job is for, is to determine value and determine the condition of the home meets the loan program that you're going with for the lender, not necessarily for you. So that home inspection is super duper important for you. The appraisal is super important for the lender, but you pay for it. And it's something that you do on almost every transaction, is you have both of those. There are some situations where you don't have to have a home inspection, or you decide not to have one. And there's some situations where you don't have to have an appraisal, and you can choose not to have one. But every situation is a little bit different, and you still get to choose whether or not you want to have those. So hopefully that's helpful.